Okay, we're playing as Melanie again. Oh, that scene was utterly bizarre. We went outside, we saw someone being, I'll say, sacrificed on an altar. They were hacking into his leg. It took me a moment to realize what they were doing, and that scream, that constant repeating scream, Jesus Christ. I don't know how you can sleep after hearing that. Then we find ourselves in the dining room, presumably after we fainted, and we're very accepting of the situation. We're drinking either wine or blood and eating human flesh. I assume all of those are crimes, but I'm not certain.
Yes? Hello?
Hello? Is this Lord Sinclair?
No, miss, I am sorry. I am Lord Sinclair's butler.
I'd like to talk to Lord Sinclair.
On what matter, miss?
I'm looking for a detective from Scotland Yard.
You are looking for a detective? Miss, in that case, I would recommend you to contact Scotland Yard. This is the house of Lord Sinclair, which is not difficult to see.
Good
I
response.
thought the detective might be here.
No, I am sorry. A Detective Halligan has not been here.
Can I talk to Lord Sinclair, please?
I am sorry, miss, but his lordship is not here.
I see.
Have a good day, miss.
I need to go back and watch the tape, but I'm pretty certain that Melody did not identify Halligan by name. No comments on the act of arson from the previous day, Melanie? I've got to call it quits in a minute. I've had enough. So apparently there's a piece of wire we can pick up here. I don't know if picking that up as Melanie is the correct call or not.
Ow! There are some stones here.
Alright, we are Metal Gear Solid or Space Quest 2, if you remember that. Let me make a save here. I'll see if I can progress any further, but I might call it quits very shortly. I've almost had enough for tonight.
What was that?
Let's have a look.
What was that noise?
Stop! Stop right there! Hey, what is that?
Leave me alone, you bastards!
Well, well, there's no need to be that upset. What are you doing here, sweetheart? Are you looking for something? She got through the hole in the fence.
Oh, little lady. You shouldn't have done that. Now, Lord Sinclair will have a surprise guest for his dinner tonight.
What? What are you going to do to me?
You'll find out soon enough, sweetheart.
That's a crash. No?
Mr. Halligan! Oh God, I'm so glad to see you. What are you doing here?
I'm preparing dinner.
You're having dinner with Lord Sinclair? That bastard got me locked in here. I really don't want to have dinner with someone like that.
You're not being asked.
What? Mr. Halligan? Is everything all right with you?
Come with me, Miss Turner.
Where?
Into the garden. I have to prepare dinner.
In the garden? Mr. Halligan? What are you talking about? What's wrong with you?
Come with me, Miss Turner. Dinner will be ready soon, and you will be our guest of honor.
The skeletonized body of Dr. Melanie Turner was found in a forest near London only a few days after this conversation. Detective Brent Halligan has been listed as missing. He was last seen leaving his Scotland Yard department. He is now serving a life sentence. That's just a straight up game over. Wow. Alright.
What was that?
Let's have a look. nothing to be seen.
Yeah, must have been a bird or something. Get back to your post.
Oh no! Where am I now? This is like being in a ghost train. That must be Lord Sinclair's study.
Okay, there's a bit of a break in the video there because that's where I stopped for the night. Let's take a look around this dank room.
A pentagram. A druid's foot would suit Lord Sinclair better.
How do you know that Lord Sinclair is a bad person? Apart from, you know, what happened outside? Oh. I'm not exactly sure what's going on here. I can see that these things are switching, but I don't understand the... I'll call it the logic. We have a man there who is, or a person I should say, who has both arms outstretched. And it appears I can move them clockwise or counterclockwise, depending on whether my cursor is on the left or the right. It does look like the dividing line is like right in the middle here. Ah! If I click on the left-hand side of the screen, it sort of reverses that direction. Okay. Right, we hear something. Not exactly sure what that has accomplished at this point. Oh, hell. Well, at least it doesn't have an alarm on us.
His desk. Looks expensive. And weird somehow.
Could it have anything to do with the skull on the desk? Is that why it looks weird?
His desk. Looks expensive. And weird somehow.
I can right-click on it for the look, but I can't left-click on it to examine further. What's this? Was there something inside it before I clicked that?
That looks interesting. That looks interesting.
Yeah, the musical note it gives off is very strange.
That won't get me any further. That doesn't help either.
We have a door on the left.
Are these skulls real? Looks like it.
You're an anthropolo... whatever the hell it is. I'm not an anthropolo whatever in real life, so I wouldn't know what the word is. But you should know if these are real or not. There's no residue or anything in their eye sockets.
Bones. These are definitely human bones.
Wait until you find out what Halligan did with someone's human femur. We used it as a pestle. Or is it a mortar? I don't know. I never learned the difference. What else do we have here? We have this thing on the wall. Order symbols, transmutation, something, 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 wind, water, fire, maybe, earth. I don't see that we can interact with this though.
Ugh, that looks like blood. What's that? An altar?
Once again, these four symbols. Okay, we don't have an exit at the bottom of the room. Can I go out this door and immediately die?
Damn, it's locked.
We're in a locked room. Okay, so I need to solve a puzzle, presumably. Let's get out of here. What if I turn this? Do I see anything? Actually, let me turn to the side first. Ah. Do I see anything different out here if I've got it set like that? Trying to break into a safe. I think you have to rotate it 3 times around for this to work to fully reset. I don't know, I'm not a locksmith. I'm not hearing any weird clicking. Hmm. The fact that I'm hearing something here, that's got to mean something. But right now, I'm not sure what. It sounds like something is being unlocked. I suppose if I put the ball thing there, if I push the man over here now. No, we're not hearing anything. Whatever it is, it's unique to this point down here. That's got to mean something. But right now, I'm not sure what.
Ugh, that looks like blood. That doesn't work. Pity. No, not a chance.
There's got to be something in this room that I'm missing.
Are these skulls real? Looks like it.
If I go out the way I came,
The guards are still on patrol out there. I can't get back outside.
it's not instant death, but it would be if we can climb out there, so that is not an option. The desk maybe?
Desk. Looks expensive. And weird somehow.
No, I'm not seeing any change there. But I can hear something. This has got to be significant. It has to be. But right now I don't see what it could be.
His desk. Looks expensive. And weird somehow.
Alright, I'll give it another minute or two and then I'll look at the walkthrough because I feel like I'm pointlessly pixel hunting right now.
Somehow.
Right, taking a peek. Click the pentagram painting, done that. Outstretched man 6 o'clock. The gold frame painting next to the pentagram. Click the painting to reveal a safe, done that. The safe is like a clock face. So the combination is... it says the combination's 1016. How do we get that? I mean, if we believe this is a clock face, these are at 12, 3, 6, and 9. How do we get 1016 as a combination here? Once again, similar to the extension for Larry, I'm not satisfied with just looking at the walkthrough and going with that. Let me see if I can find the combination very quickly. Alright, so I don't have an answer, but apparently we can click this thing here. Okay, so I imagine this is just a brute force thing. Which sucks. Also, I know enough nut safes, even though I'm not a locksmith, to understand that this is not how they work. Mind you, I can't say that I'm familiar with the safes in the Mystery of the Druids cinematic universe, so maybe I'm being extremely judgmental, and I apologize if I'm being that, but safes don't work like this.
Voila! Open.
Thank you, walkthrough. Trying to look at those, and it's not letting me.
The parchment is full of runes.
English mofos, do you speak it?
I can't read a single word.
Some whatever the fuck you are.
This is the amulet of transformation Mr. Blake talked about. It seems to be really important for Lord Sinclair.
Important enough that someone ransacked our boat cabin to find it. And they found it in a frigging ventilation shaft, which I'm still kind of impressed about.
That's the amulet Mr. Blake talked about.
That graphic. Cutscene time.
Mr. Halligan! God, what a relief! Oh, what was that for? Have you gone mad? What's wrong, Brent? Why are you hitting me?
Who are you? What are you doing here?
Oh, God, stop it! What's the matter with you? Don't you recognize me? Brent, stop it!
You're justified in hitting him. What about the skull's feelings?
Bloody idiot!
Alright, Brent is actually a piece of shit, although he's probably being controlled right now.
Oh. What happened?
That's all
Brent!
it took?
Is that you? Do you recognize me?
Of course I recognize you. Bloody hell, what's going on? Oh my God, I'm feeling sick. Everything's spinning.
I had to hit you over the head. You were acting like a madman.
Wait, I just have to get it together for a moment. Oh, Melanie, you can't imagine what I've gone through here.
The first question. Did you find your wallet? So he says he can't imagine what I've been through, so I assume he remembers some of the events. But, oh god, that was bizarre. Why did they think that Brent coming in here and slapping her would be a good idea? Jesus. If you're trying to restrain her or whatever, don't do that. There's no point. What happened? I mean, we know what happened, but what happened in your own words, Brent?
What happened?
You threatened me. You tried to kill me.
I did what?
You tried to kill me, Brent. You hit me. Don't ever do that again. Do you understand?
Melanie, I didn't know what I was doing. I can't even remember hitting you.
Oh, God, Brent. What's this Sinclair done to you?
Is that going to be our official excuse for drugging the beggar and stealing the fishing rod and forging the forms and whatever other crimes we've committed during this playthrough? That's totally our excuse, isn't it?
How did you get here anyway? Have you been here long?
I got your message. Can't you remember? I thought you might need help out here.
Oh, right. The copy.
I had a look around the room, Brent, and I found the amulet Mr. Blake mentioned on the phone.
Where?
It was in Sinclair's safe, together with a parchment.
So Sinclair had it. I'm sure Mr. Blake will be interested in that.
But now, tell me what's been happening here, Brent. What's Sinclair up to?
Okay, so we are controlling Brent here. I thought that was Melanie talking to whatever. Okay, why can't we ask about our wallet? I'm asking the important questions here. We didn't see Lord Sinclair kill somebody. They were alive when we passed out. They were definitely torturing him though and stripping meat off his body to eat. And it's also strongly implied that we drank some blood.
Melanie, I saw how this Lord Sinclair
killed somebody.
What? When did you see that? And where?
Last night, here on the estate. Sinclair caught me immediately after my arrival and had me locked up. I could hear screams when I was in that room. Horrible screams. I escaped and ran outside to the forest behind the estate. And there I saw it.
What did you see?
Sinclair and some other men. They wore habits, and they were just about to cut a living human being into pieces with a sickle.
That can't be true.
I saw it with my own eyes, Melanie. It was horrible.
Oh, God. And what happened to you? Why didn't you recognize me?
It could have something to do with the fact that we are now a cannibal.
It must have had something to do with the food.
What food?
Sinclair and his friends invited me to their dinner. The food did something to me. Anyway, Sinclair had no compunction in telling me all about the Circle and about their future plans over dinner. The Circle wants to complete the ritual and to put a curse on the world which will make us all their slaves.
That's nonsense.
No, Melanie. You've seen what these people did to me. They're mad. And they are serious. I'm sure about that now.
What's going on in there? Open the door! Open it at once!
The guards, Brent. They're at the door. We have to leave.
Open the door! Jack, get the key!
Yeah, Melanie, I think you're right. We really should get out of here. And we should do it now. We made it.
Yes, thank God. I couldn't have taken it in that house even a second longer.
That cut.
Everything all right with you?
Yes, I'm a bit out of breath. And you, Brent?
My head is still throbbing a bit, but apart from that, I'm okay. We have to go, Melanie. Now.
Where?
To Mr. Blake. If anybody can tell us something about the incidents in this house, he can.
Okay, let's move.
Mr. Blake, I'm glad you're here. There's a lot we need to tell you. We've experienced something simply incredible.
Slow down, game.
Now, Mr. Halligan. Let's discuss it all in peace and quiet. Perhaps you'd like to introduce me to the young lady?
Oh, of course. I almost forgot in all this excitement. Mr. Blake, this is Dr. Melanie Turner from the Anthropological Museum in Oxford.
Oh, yes, of course. We spoke on the telephone.
That's right. Pleased to meet you at long last, Mr. Blake.
Now, what's been happening? Have you found out any more about the Circle?
Any more? It's a nightmare, Mr. Blake.
Go on.
Those cuts, honestly. Everything was just moving way too fast. Now the music's kicking in and it's way too loud and I can't get into the menu. Oh boy. There was something I wanted to say during that conversation, but it's completely been obliterated by those two cuts.
Mr. Blake, we found the amulet you were talking about. The amulet of transformation.
You found it? My God. Show me.
You're looking at it.
Yes, that's it. Where was it?
In a hidden safe. In the office of the leader of this ominous circle. There was a parchment with it, with completely illegible signs on it. Here, take a look. Do they make any sense to you?
They're very unusual runes. I'll have to take a look at this in peace. Go on with your story. You were saying you know who's leading the Circle? Who is it?
I remember what I wanted to say. So, the Druids, or those 5 people, drugged us with the food, turned us into someone else, and all it took to undo that was a simple knock to the head with a skull. I can't imagine it's that simple for the rest of them, though. Alright, led by an aristocrat named Lord Sinclair.
The Circle is led by an aristocrat called Lord Sinclair.
Lord Sinclair. Never heard of him. How did you find out?
Research. Scotland Yard observed the group for a while. There was an entry in the database, so I drove out to his place. It's a pretty pretentious estate on Winchester Street.
You drove out there all by yourself?
Yes.
That was rather careless of you, Mr. Halligan.
You can say that again. He'd obviously been expecting me and had me locked up at once.
What happened next?
We escaped, and then we witnessed and heard something awful.
I witnessed a murder taking place.
Murder? On Sinclair's estate?
Yes. I saw them cutting the flesh from a human body. A live body.
With a sickle?
Yes.
I knew it. What you witnessed was a ritual for the transferal of life force. Were you seen?
I passed out. When I came to, I was sitting at a laid table with Sinclair and 4 other men.
Was there food on the table?
Yes, meat.
You didn't eat any, surely.
Yes, I did.
Oh my God.
I know. It was the victim's flesh, wasn't it?
Yes. You have taken part in the ritual, Mr. Halligan. How on earth did you manage to get away?
Miss Turner got me out. If it hadn't been for her, I wouldn't be here now.
You're a brave woman, Miss Turner.
We'll just gloss over the part where we slapped her in the face multiple times.
What do we do now?
Why don't we just send a police contingent round there? You're a detective, Mr. Halligan, and Lord Sinclair is a murderer.
There won't be anything to find by the time they get there. Sinclair and his friends are no fools. They'll proceed as they've done in all the other cases. They'll just dump the bones somewhere to save the police hunting high and low for a corpse. Scotland Yard will file it away. End of case.
Once again, portraying Scotland Yard as completely incompetent. I imagine we can go there and find some evidence, though, unless they pack up and move out and sanitize the place. We're not done here.
Have you found out yet what stopped the completion of the ritual 1,000 years ago?
I've deciphered the text a little further, but some of the signs are just completely unknown to me.
Hey, yeah, can we get a copy of that parchment, please?
I thought you said the amulet was important to the ritual.
Yes, that's what the inscription says.
Yeah, but then everything's all right now. After all, I've got it. Let's just melt it down, then this nightmare will be over.
Mr. Halligan, you're forgetting the ritual has already taken place. 1,000 years ago. It just didn't reach perfection. Only part of the power was transferred to the infants. The inheritors are now trying to complete their ritual.
But if this amulet means so much to Sinclair, surely it must be needed for the perfection.
I'm not so sure about that. Sinclair may be interested in it for some other reason.
What makes you think that?
The title written on the parchment you gave me.
And you're not going to tell me the title? You're going to put a dramatic pause in here? And so I click this.
What does the parchment's title say?
Unless I'm very much mistaken, the text refers to a place known as 12 Bridges.
What kind of place is that?
12 Bridges is an abandoned complex near Glastonbury. The bridges are in great danger of collapsing. Ancient Celtic myths refer to the place as the Gate of the Worlds.
Gate of the Worlds? What's that supposed to be?
You know, Mr. Halligan, the Celts did not regard reality and time as insurmountable facts. On the contrary, they regarded them as illusions, which man's laziness and ignorance made him incapable of overcoming. Celtic shrines were always special places that allowed them to leave the normality of everyday reality. Celtic myths claim that 12 Bridges has been a consecrated site for millennia. A place where the body can step over into another time.
Oh, God. I was going to say LSD, but that's much worse. Can we get there and go back through time to see what the Druids were actually doing in the whatever century it was? 10th century. Oh, my God. Yeah, exactly.
You mean 12 Bridges is the gate to a journey through time?
According to the legend, yes.
But nothing's ever been reported of such a journey.
Well, that doesn't make it impossible, does it? The place has not been closely examined so far. It's too dilapidated. Just entering the place is taking a very serious risk. Anyway, nobody really believes in time travel anymore these days.
What you're saying is someone might have stolen my wallet and taken it back in time.
Why would Sinclair keep a parchment about that place in his safe?
You see, Mr. Halligan, that's what I've been wondering. If Sinclair knows the place and keeps a parchment about it hidden in his safe, wouldn't it be conceivable that journeys through time really are possible from 12 Bridges?
You mean he wants to travel back in time?
Well, he'd certainly be doing his best to make sure nobody else made that journey. Maybe Sinclair wants to prevent anyone from traveling back in time and disturbing the ritual.
Why would anyone do that? And why would Sinclair be so concerned about it?
It's easy. No ritual, no inheritors. No inheritors.
No Lord Sinclair. I see.
Of course, these are just speculations. As I said, Mr. Halligan, we need the book from the library. I should be able to tell you more when I've translated the parchment.
You did? I don't think you said that. If you said it, it must have been about a week or two ago, and I've forgotten about it. I assume the amulet is a key that lets us travel through time, Chrono Trigger style.
Why do they call the place 12 Bridges?
It's a very strange arrangement of 12 stone bridges. No one knows why they were built that way. They probably weren't the first thing that was erected there anyway. The current bridge array dates from the early Middle Ages. If, as I suspect, that place has been a Celtic shrine for centuries, there are bound to have been other structures there at some point.
Thank you, Mr. Blake. I'll see what I can make of it.
Good. If you have any more questions, don't hesitate to call on me anytime you like.
I'm still very worried that this bookshelf here is very, very explorable. That we can look at it and look at the various books.
Hello, Mr. Blake. Hello, Melanie.
Hello, Brent. How could you just leave like that?
There was something I needed to see to.
I have quite a few things to see to as well. Shouldn't we discuss with Mr. Blake what's to be done next?
Yes, Mr. Halligan. We have no time to lose.
All right. Mr. Blake, I have just one more question.
What are you talking about? I assume that's just a scripting bug. I assume that we were supposed to leave and then come back in, and then Mellie's like, why did you leave?
I thought you said the amulet was important to the ritual.
Yes, that's what the inscription says.
Yeah, but then everything's all right now. After all, I've got
talk
it.
about melting
Let's
it?
just melt it down, then...
Yep.
Mr. Itch,
But if...
I'm not
What makes...
the time.
Can you read what the parchment says?
The signs resemble those on the inscription I'm working on, but I'm just not getting anywhere with it. All I've been able to make out of the parchment so far is the title. I need a special book to continue.
There we go.
The Celtic Orthographic System by Scott M. Winfield. Oxford University Library should have it. Mr. Halligan, please get me a copy of that book. I believe the translation of this parchment is the key to Lord Sinclair's intentions.
Thank you, Mr. Blake. We'll see what we can make of this.
We're much obliged, Mr. Blake.
I wish you both the best of luck. Take care of yourselves, and come back to see me soon. Mr. Halligan, back from the library?
No!
Give me the book so I can start translating immediately.
Mr.
Damn,
Blake, I
dude.
haven't got the book yet. I need to ask you something first.
Anytime, Mr. Halligan.
I just want the
I
name of the
thought
book.
But if...
I'm not...
What makes you...
The time...
Can you...
But I need a special book to continue.
Celtic
The
Orthographic
Celtic
System.
Orthographic System. Mr.
I'm going to write that down. That might be important. Knowing this game, it probably is. Celtic Orthographic System by Scott M. Winfield or Winfield. Not sure which.
Thank you, Mr. Blake.
We're much
I wish you...
Right. We might have two new destinations now. The 12 Bridges and the Oxford Library.
An old pendulum clock with a Roman face.
I'm extremely worried we can look at all these books.
Books. A lot of books.
I reckon there's going to be something hidden behind there, or the game's just rendering a bunch of stuff to throw me off the scent.
This thing is getting more and more mysterious. I can't believe what Mr. Blake said.
We have to find out why this amulet is so important to Sinclair. Perhaps Mr. Blake is right, and the amulet is the key to preventing the ritual. I expect we'll know more as soon as the translation of the parchment is finished. I have to go to Oxford, Melanie. I have to get the book for Mr. Blake.
Yes, of course. That's fine by me. I really need to check a few things at home. Where shall we meet later?
I'll get in touch with you as soon as I have any news. Okay?
How?
All right. I'll be off then.
Okay, Melanie. See you later.
Should I call you on your mobile? I've got a feeling the game might have rendered a bunch of additional locations or things like that bookshelf with the intent of using it, but for whatever reason it's been cut out of the game. Can I go back to Lord Sinclair? Suppose I should make a save before I do so, just in case. Anyone home? Nobody home. They haven't fixed a hole, but we're too scared to go through there. That would make sense. I've got a feeling we'll be back inside there at some point, though, because there's other stuff in that room which looks... Again, I don't know if it's going to get used or not. Maybe it's been cut, but there's a lot of stuff in there that we did not interact with properly.
A sculpture of a unicorn. Not quite to my taste.
Horn not large enough?
This is it. Oxford University Library.
Is that the way out, the car?
Only one bike. Seems the vacation has started. This is it. Oxford University Library. Aha. Alarm protected.
Wonder how much I had to pay to get that logo in the game. Alright, so I can maybe set off the car alarm here. Pretty sure that's a crime.
It's locked.
Are we stealing a car?
A bicycle. The back tire's flat.
I've got no idea where the game might be going with this.
I'd better take the main entrance. I'd better take the main entrance.
Right, we have a bicycle, we have a car. It's strongly implied that I can do something with the car later, perhaps. Is the library closed?
It's a magnetic barrier. They have them in all libraries. It's a magnetic barrier. They have them in all libraries.
Those paths are closed off. I can go down.
An old book. It's bound to be valuable.
Can I have it?
I'm pretty sure this isn't the book Blake meant. An old illustrated book. I bet it's very valuable. I'm pretty sure this isn't the book Blake meant.
Lots of directions. That seems very unsafe. Sitting on the ledge up there.
An old book written with a quill pen. Looks pretty valuable. I'm reasonably sure this...
You're only reasonably sure.
An old illustrated book. I bet it's very valuable. Somehow I don't think this is the book Blake was talking about.
I like this music.
Nice haircut. An old book. It's bound to be valuable. I'm pretty sure this isn't the book Blake... Excuse me, I'm looking for a book.
Oh, how nice for you.
Quite. Do you think you could help me?
Help you? Why?
Because that's your job?
Why? As I said, I'm looking for a book.
I heard what you said. You're looking for a book. So go ahead and look.
Everyone is just shitting on this guy, and I love it.
That's all very well, but I haven't got a clue where to start looking.
Well, this desk is the wrong place anyway. The reading rooms are that way.
What exactly are you working on right now, if I may ask?
I'm revising the house rules, if you must know.
Oh, why? What's being altered?
The landing procedure. From now on, visitors to the library must do their own research. Do you understand?
Of course. I might have known.
Well then, you might let me continue my work now. Oh, and young man,
Yes?
welcome to our landing library.
Thank you, old crow.
I beg your pardon?
Nothing. I was just thinking aloud. I get the impression you're just sitting here doing nothing.
And I get the impression you want me to have you thrown out. Is that so, young man? You see, so behave yourself, keep your voice down, and observe the house rules. And stop wasting my time.
Yes, this is your problem. I'm from Scotland Yard, and you are going to help me by order of the police.
Shall I tell you something, young man? I don't give tuppence for your orders. This isn't Scotland Yard. It's Oxford University Library. Only the house rules apply here, and they apply to everyone. To the Pope, to the Chinese Emperor, and even to you. If you have any complaints to make, you'd better speak to the management.
This game is so divorced from reality, I don't know where to start. If the police come in here and they've got the appropriate orders, which Halligan doesn't, then surely we can compel you to help us.
I'll see what I can do by myself then.
You do that.
So without looking around further in here, my immediate thought is we have an alarm behind us, and we also have a car alarm outside. That seems relevant.
Excuse me, sir. I hope I'm not disturbing you. Do you know whose car that is outside?
Out in the forecourt? That's my car. Why?
I think a couple of students have damaged the paintwork.
Are you trying to get me to go out there so that you can perhaps get to the computer? Not bad, young man, but I've been working here for 30 years now, and I'm used to all kinds of youngsters trying to pull the wool over my eyes. You'll have to come up with something better than that to fool me.
We need to set the alarm off very clearly.
I'm sure I wouldn't leave my car standing around completely unguarded outside a university.
Nonsense. Cars don't get demolished at elite universities.
Why don't you go out and see for yourself?
Don't talk nonsense, young man. Our students wouldn't do that sort of thing.
Oh, well, it's up to you. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Whatever. I'm staying right here.
Oh, well, that's all right then.
I don't know how to feel about that. You're saying that your students wouldn't possibly do that, as opposed to, other students. That's terrible, dude.
Books, books, books. They don't seem to be sorted by author.
Ah, hell.
There must be thousands of books in here. Books, books. Which one? Which one?
I wrote down the author's name.
A table. A table.
But
I'll never find the book I'm looking for unless I know where to start.
if they're not labeled by, or if they're not sourced by author order, then we have a problem.
Books. I'll never find the book. I'll never find the book I'm looking for unless I know where to start. Which one? Books. I'll never book. Tens of thousands. There must be thousands. Tens of thousands. I need to look it up in some kind of catalogue. They don't seem to be sorted by author.
That's the problem here.
I'll never find the book. Books, books, books. Books, books, books. I'll never find the book I need to look at. They don't seem to. There must be 10 books. I'll never find a ladder for reaching the top rows. They don't seem to be sorted by author.
That seems so dangerous.
Books, books, books. A table. A ladder for reaching the top rows.
Alright. I'll check out the right-hand room. But I guess my first challenge is to get that old man off the computer so I can look up stuff myself.
Roman monetary system and fiscal policies. At least 10 copies. Looks like a new edition of a standard work. Still, the cover's not bad. The Roman money looks like it's still, the cover's not bad. That's the book, The Roman Monetary System and Fiscal Policies. Must be a bestseller.
Is there a Monty Python reference in there? Okay, so if I try walking out of here, is that going to set the alarm off? I think it will.
I say, stop right there!
What's the matter?
Don't you dare act the innocent. You're trying to steal that book.
Who, me? Steal a book? Madam, I'm a detective.
They're always the worst. Anyway, I can see it. If you want to borrow a book, be good enough to come over to my desk first.
Oh, this one? There must be some mistake. I was lost in thought, you see. It must have slipped into my pocket.
Don't you lie to me. Just how often do you think I've heard that one? Now put the book back, and be grateful that I'm not having you thrown out.
I'll borrow the book.
I don't want to borrow this book.
You again? Haven't you found your book yet?
No. How could I? Look, I'd really appreciate your helping me.
You repeat yourself, young man.
I thought it was your job to give people like me information.
Don't think you can tell me what my job is.
It was an obvious question.
Look, young man, my job is to answer questions the computer can't answer. Have you asked the computer yet?
Yes, but it's occupied.
Oh, Professor Hastings, I presume.
I don't know the man's name.
Professor Hastings spends a lot of time researching. He sometimes sits in front of that computer for days. Looks like you'll have to wait your turn.
I'm damn short of time, and I need that book.
That's not my problem. We're all short of time.
Very true.
What exactly are you working on right?
I'm revising
Oh,
the letter. Do you?
of course.
Well, then.
Yes?
Welcome.
Old.
I beg you.
Nothing.
You do.
So we know who he is. Any new dialogue?
The cataloguing computer. Just one more thing. Have you finished?
I'll be honest with you. The more often you interrupt me, the longer I'm going to be. Why don't you go and read something whilst you're waiting?
I don't want to read.
Then take a walk outside. Anything. Just stop interrupting me.
So you're not going to let me use the computer?
No, I'm sorry. I can't. My work is extremely urgent. Why don't you take a look in the card index box?
But I'll never find anything in there.
Whatever. I need this computer, and that is that.
I think I've been waiting long enough.
Now, what do you know about waiting? The vast continuum of space and time, elucidated in the string theory, knows no waiting. Only the concept of being as a trace of existence in the parallel stream of the ever-concurrent. You ought to know that, young man.
Did you make this nonsense up yourself?
Nonsense? What do you mean, nonsense? It's one of the basic hypotheses of the greatest all-encompassing theory that has ever been proposed, or rather, is being proposed. That's what I'm working on, you see. The Hastings Principle, named after its inventor and main advocate, me.
So you're not going to let me use the computer?
No, I'm sorry. My work... Why do...
But I'll...
Whatever.
All right then, Professor. I've got work to do.
Good. Make yourself useful. Carpe diem, I always say.
Just one more
I can't remember what that means right now. I do know what it means, though.
Do you know anything about runes? Was that a yes?
Eh? Yes, that is... no, of course not. but there are a few books on it somewhere in this library. At least, I think so.
Do you know where they'd be?
No idea. That's what the catalogues are there for, my boy.
You don't say. Then will you please let me use the computer?
I told you it's out of the question. Is there something wrong with your hearing, young man?
Don't you ever eat? Or go to the loo?
No, I usually eat right here.
And?
My digestion is trained to last out all day.
Really?
I'm going.
You do that.
I refuse to believe that. Carpe diem is seize the day. Alright. I'm not stuck yet. Let me just make a save. Just got to tilt my head to get to the keyboard because my microphone is in the way. Let me try putting the book back here and going outside. And by here, I mean the right-hand side. Could I perhaps...
No way. That won't get me any further.
Could I perhaps swap the book with one of those? I don't think it would help, though.
That won't get me any... No. That doesn't work. I don't believe it will work like that.
Wait, what? Okay, am I locked in the library now? Surely not.
I don't want to borrow this book.
You're right, I don't. I want to return it. But if I go this way, that'll immediately get me flagged. Like so.
Well, of all the... Young man, if you're looking for trouble, you're going the right way about it.
Okay, calm down. My mistake.
Lord, give me strength. What a nerve. Well, of all the... Young man...
Okay.
Lord...
I can't put the book back.
It won't work like that.
I don't think these things are sealed. If you look at the, when it comes up. Halligan. Yeah, okay, it is sealed. I thought it might have just been a base there with a piece of plexiglass or whatever over the top, but I can see there's panes of glass all around, so...
I can't do that.
What can I do, though? What can I do?
Not a good idea. I don't believe it will work like that. The Roman monetary system and fiscal policies.
Right.
At least 10. They would have... I don't want... I should think it won't work. That won't get... There's no... That won't get... Of course. It can't work like that. That will be... It won't work. Of course. That's few... That doesn't... Not a good idea. That won't... Looks like that. I thought it wouldn't work like that.
Let's try, though. What have we got out of the estate? We've got a nail, a frame, wire.
A bit of wire from Sinclair's fence. I don't believe... That's futile as well.
I picked it up as Melanie, and it's with us now, so I think that's very important.
Of course. It can't work like... That won't... That will be... No, it won't work. That's Looks like that won't work. Think... I thought... Not a good... I don't... No. Think... Not a good... I don't... Think first, Brent. I should... That does... That won't get me any further. I can't see any connection. Nothing's happening. It won't work. There's no point in that. I don't... It won't work like... I'd rather... That won't... That will be... I can't do that. I should... That's... I can't... It won't... Of course. I'd rather... That won't... That doesn't work. No. I can't see any connection there.
Right, what are we doing? Trying to use my brain, and I'm getting nowhere. We have a book here. I've taken the book. I can't put the book back.
I should think about it again. I'd rather think about it again.
I don't suppose I can just give the professor the book?
A table.
There's nothing else in this room that is useful. Alright, so I'm going to go have a chat to the professor again and see if there's any more dialogue options. I'll try using my objects in my inventory on him, but I might take a quick peek at the walkthrough again because I'm a little bit lost.
Antique reliefs. The library's tradition goes back quite some time.
No, nothing there.
Just one more thing.
Hmm?
Do you know whose car that is outside?
Out in the... Why?
The window on the driver's side isn't shut properly.
Oh, well. It's a nice day. It can't hurt to let some air in.
That's practically inviting theft.
I'm sure that I'm the best judge of what to do with my own property, young man. Anyway, I've got a car alarm.
Does it work?
Take my word for it. That thing has a siren that you can't possibly miss.
Isn't that taking rather a risk?
No. After all, the car's just outside the door. It's quite safe.
Don't you think you'd better close the car window properly?
I can do that later, when I'm finished in here.
A lot later?
Precisely.
Oh, well, that's all right then. Nothing's happening. I can't do that.
I have no idea what we just did.
It won't work like that. No, better. Just one more thing.
Hmm?
Do you know anything about runes? Was that a yes?
Eh? Yes, that is... no, but there are at least...
Do you know where...
No. Is there...
I'm going...
Okay, so if we can distract him with the car alarm, he's going to run out, and then she will interrupt. That's a heavy book, though. I call bullshit that we could actually pickpocket or reverse pickpocket him, put it on there, and he didn't notice. I call bullshit on that. Right, how do we set off this car alarm? Hey, yeah, the window is open. How do we jimmy the car?
Think first, Brent. Nothing's happening. I don't believe it will work like...
Like nobody saw that.
Professor Hastings, what are you doing?
Who? Me? Nothing. I must be off to my car. My alarm just went off.
Professor, what's that book you're carrying?
Book? I don't have a book. Please don't joke now, Mrs. Owen. I have to see to my car.
What's this then?
But how the devil? That's impossible. I didn't take this book.
Then how did it get there?
There must be some mistake. A very regrettable mistake, Mrs. Owen. I assure you...
I like your nerve, Professor Hastings. You steal a book and then try to deny the whole thing ever happened. I'm very disappointed in you.
Mrs. Owen, you've known me for 20 years now. You ought to know that I'd never...
All I know is that I'm going to have to put this on record. Please come along over here to the issuing counter, Professor. You will have to fill in a form.
This music. This sad, mournful music. Look what you've done, Halligan. You've destroyed this man's hopes and dreams. I'm going to make a save because I'd like to actually talk to him. No, we can't even approach the desk. Okay, he's occupied. English. 48.3 CB. Once again, English. 48 BCD. I've already forgotten what it said. Shit.
I found what I was looking for. The book I need is in position 48.3 CB.
48.3 CB. Writing that down. I will forget. Right. It has been writ. CB. What kind of fucked up numbering system is this?
I need to look it up in some kind of catalog.
Wasn't paying attention to any of the numbers in the other libraries, so maybe it's in here? No, those all start at 1 to 12 as well. What the hell? Oh.
They don't seem to be sorted by... There must be thousands of books in here. Which one? Which one? Books, books, books.
I've got no idea how to decode 48-3-C-B.
Which one? 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 Which one?
It's got to be in here, surely.
Which one? Need to look it up and they don't seem... Which one? 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 Which one?
I'm not a librarian, chat. It's sus as hell that we can look at that particular one there. Can't look at these. If I go down here, I don't think I'll get an icon to look in any of the other shelves. It's got to be in that shelf, surely.
Which one?
It's got to be in that one. 48-3-C-B. What the hell does that even mean? Also, the title doesn't match what we wrote down, but, you know.
Which one? Which one? Which one? Which one? Which one?
I'm close to breaking and looking at the walkthrough. We can't ask her for help because she's busy reprimanding the professor. It's gotta be in here. It can't not be in here.
Which one? Which one?
I've only been streaming for an hour, so I'll continue, but that was some freaky ass shit. What the hell? That just happened.
Which one? 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 Which one?
Do that again, Halligan. Is Halligan even alive?
Which one? Which one? Which one? Which one?
Alright, look at the walkthrough. GypsyClaw has entered the chat. I have forgotten to ban you. I'll do that tomorrow. Where is the walkthrough? Because I was looking up the definition of carpe diem, or however you pronounce it. On bookshelf C, click the middle section of the third row here. How do we get 48 3BC out of that? I don't know. Don't know what the solution there is. Now, unfortunately, I did see the next part. Because we've got the same issue. We can't just walk out with that. Very smooth.
That's the book I was supposed to get for Blake. That's the book I was supposed to get for Blake. The Celtic Orthographic System by Scott M. Winfield.
And yet it says literacy. Alright, he's moved along. Is he back on the computer? How you doing, sir?
Hello, Professor. Still busy? I thought maybe you'd been thrown out by now.
Hang on, nearly finished.
It's pointless. He's in a world of his own.
Can I put this book on you?
That won't help either.
No, so the problem I've got is I can't just walk out of here. I did see something about a false book over here. I'll see if I can find it. I only briefly saw it, I promise.
Looks like a new edition of a standard work. Dead boring, required reading for history students. A ladder for reaching the... They don't seem to be sorted. There must be thousands of books. They don't seem to be sorted by author. Books, books, books.
Right, let me have a chat to the lady because this is indeed the book that I would like to take out. But she's probably going to deny us.
You again? Haven't you found your book yet?
No. How could
What?
I? Look, I'd really appreciate your helping me.
You repeat yourself, young man.
Halligan, come on.
I'll see what I can do.
You do that.
Here's my book.
Here, madam. I found the book I was looking for. I'd like to borrow it.
This one?
Yes? Is there something wrong with it?
You bet there is. This is our reference copy.
What's that supposed to mean?
I can't lend it to you. You will have to read it here.
You can't be serious, surely. I need this book. I have to take it to someone.
You heard me.
Do you at least have a copying machine?
That's a crime.
Why don't you copy the pages you need by hand?
Madam, I've told you the book's not for me. I wouldn't know which pages are important, and I can hardly copy the whole book by hand.
That's...
Not your problem, right?
right.
I thought as much. Couldn't you make an exception?
We don't do exceptions. Have you any idea how many reference copies we have had stolen?
Judging by what the professor was saying about his car, not many.
All right, forget it. I can't do that. No, I can't. That won't. I don't. That won't. That does. It won't work like that. I thought, of course, it won't. No, not a chance. That won't. That won't. I'd rather. I should think not a good. No, I don't believe it will work like that.
There we go.
The cover of this history book is a perfect fit for the book I want to borrow.
This is so sus, but let's go with it.
Right, I've finished here. I found a different book that interests me. I assume you'll let me borrow this one.
We'll see. What have we here? Let me see. Oh, the Roman monetary system and fiscal policies. Yes, you may borrow this one. And just think, I've actually read this one. What a coincidence. A brilliant piece of work. Very vivid, and never gets boring. You know, I wanted to be a historian, and Roman coins were my special field. But then I met my husband here at the university. He was working on his doctoral thesis at the time, and, well, you know how it is. I could discuss Roman coins for hours.
Madam? This is all highly interesting, but I do really want to borrow this book.
Oh, yes, of course. Forgive me. Here you go.
Thank you for the book and your great help.
Oh, I do hope you're not angry with me. If there's any way I can help you, please, don't hesitate to tell me.
Not for the moment, thank you. I really must be off now.
Naturally, naturally. See you soon.
See you soon.
That's another crime that we've committed. For a moment there, we were both speaking like normal people. Alright, so let's go back to Arthur Blake. I still don't understand that 48's 3CB thing. How that corresponds to that shelf. That makes no sense to me. None whatsoever.
It's locked.
Ah, the music's gonna kick in again. I'll just make a save before I speak to him.
That's the book I was supposed to get for Blake. The Celtic Orthographic System by Scott M. Winfield.
This is freaky as hell. It makes no sense.
Hello, Mr. Blake.
Mr. Halligan, have you got the book?
I might just give it a moment for the music to shut up. I'll cut in. Okay, I think the music stopped.
Hello, Mr. Blake.
Mr. Halligan, have you got the book?
I forgot what I was doing.
Here you are. Here's the book you asked for.
Ah, yes. Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Halligan. Well, did you have any difficulties with Mrs. Owen at the issuing counter?
None I couldn't handle.
Good. I'll get to work at once. Oh, by the way, Mr. Halligan, Miss Turner called about an hour ago. She's worried about you because you haven't been in touch for such a long time.
Did she say that?
Yes. She said she needs to speak to you urgently.
Do you mind if I use your phone?
No need. I asked her to come out here and join me. She should be arriving any minute now.
Convenience?
How long will the translation take?
Oh, not long, I hope. The book will be a great help. You'd better just wait here for a moment.
I'll just take a look around then, if you don't mind.
Of course not. Be my guest.
I can't talk to you.
Mr. Halligan, there you are. I've been looking everywhere.
I just went to the library, dude. Christ. Exactly. I had to get him his book.
Well, I had to get Mr. Blake this book.
That took rather a long time.
No,
I've
it
been
didn't.
Phoning around asking for you.
You didn't call my chief, did you?
You've been trying to get hold of me?
Yes. I also went
Oh,
to Scotland
no.
Yard and spoke to your chief. He's a bit cross with you.
Cross with me? Why, what have I done now?
Lord Sinclair's planning to bring charges against you for burglary.
What? I don't believe it. That old devil Sinclair seems to feel he's pretty safe, doesn't he?
It looks that way. It seems he has very influential friends in the police force. Whatever, your chief asked me to tell you that you're suspended, effective immediately. Oh, and the next time you come to the office, he expects you to give him a comprehensive report in writing.
What? He can't be serious. Don't tell me he's handing the case back to that thick-headed, big-mouth Lowry.
I wouldn't know. All he said was that he expects you to hand the file to him as soon as you get back to the yard.
I certainly will not. This business is just too important to let go. I don't care what the chief says. I'm going to carry this case through on my own.
Another cutscene.
What's going on out there?
Earthquake!
What is it? What's happening?
Leave me!
Get out of the danger zone. Here, take the parchment and go.
Come along, Mr. Blake. Let's get out of here.
What happened to your voice?
Get out of here. I'll follow you.
Get out of here. Quickly, run.
What the hell?
I believe you have something of mine, Mr. Hannigan. I shall give you until sunset to give my property back to me.
That seems like a rather dramatic escalation in the skeleton murders case. Okay, I get that we're all stunned looking at this, but is something going to happen now?
Oh, God! Mr. Blake! I have to go back and get him out of there.
Are you crazy? Don't go. It's pointless. You can't help him anymore. He's dead.
Yeah, you're right. Oh my God, what an inferno. Let's get out of here, Melanie. Otherwise, we'll be next.
Where can we go? To Scotland Yard?
No.
No, that's not a good idea. The Chief Inspector's waiting for me there. We'd only lose time. And Sinclair is getting more and more powerful with each new murder.
So what can we do?
You heard what Mr. Blake said. Sinclair has the power to complete the ritual. No matter what we do, for the time being, nobody can stop him.
Then we're lost.
No, Melanie. We have one chance left.
No time.
We have to go to 12 bridges.
Oh my God.
We have to try to move the Gate of the Worlds. If we want to stop Sinclair, we have to stop those who gave him his power 1,000 years ago.
You believe in that Gate of the Worlds thing? It's just a myth, a fairy tale.
The question is not whether I believe in it, Melanie. The question is whether we have any other options.
You're right. Come on then.
We just saw a meteor crash into that house. Oh, what the fuck. There's so much to unpack there. It's 12 bridges. It's more like 6 bridges paired together.
This place is just incredible,
Yes. It's beautiful.
but also rather ramshackle, just like Mr. Blake told us.
So, a couple of things. Firstly, if we have been suspended, why does the chief want a report? Secondly, why are we being accused of burglary? I mean, yeah, okay, they didn't see Melanie on the grounds, did they? She snuck in, they didn't see her. What have we stolen? We've stolen a painting. We've damaged the property by ripping up a floor plate, or whatever you want to call it, floor tile. And yes, we did break into the safe and steal a parchment and an amulet. However, we didn't steal that. That was Melanie. That wasn't us. We had nothing to do with it. Also, that parchment is now very burnt along with that book, so we can't return the book to the library. That's another crime. And I'm hoping she has the amulet. No, we've got the amulet on our person. Never mind. I don't suppose that unless the Blake's place is magically restored by what we're going to do next, I don't suppose we're ever going back in there or returning that book. Jesus. GypsyClaw says, we're going to be here for a while if I'm going to list all of Halligan's crimes. I've forgotten most of Halligan's crimes at this point. And now we're still working on this investigation, even though Scotland Yard has kicked us off the case, and we're not allowed to. So, we believe we can go back in time to try and stop the ritual, to try and save ourselves, or to try and fix things.
How can we get to the rocky island?
The bridges don't look very inviting to me.
Yes, I can see what you mean. A lot of them have cracks as well. It's probably too much of a risk. They will collapse one after the other.
But we can't just stay here and hope for a miracle either. We have to do something.
That echo.
Did Blake say anything else that could help us?
I don't think so. Not while I was there, anyway. You were the one who talked to him.
He only told me that there had been a place of worship at this location for millennia.
That doesn't help us much, does it?
What do you think? Why was it built like this?
Defense.
I don't know. I'm an anthropologist, not an architect.
Defense against invaders or something. Why are we asking that?
Do you think you can really time travel from here?
Scientifically, I'd say it's impossible. But like you said, it's our only chance. If this doesn't get us anywhere, we're finished. We should try everything.
We will find a way of getting over that.
I hope so, Brent.
Alright, I'm actually stuck here. I cannot leave. I cannot go back to the map.
Melanie?
Brent?
It's about that conversation we had.
What is it, Brent? More questions? You're really curious.
Could I ask you something personal?
That depends on just how personal it is, Brent.
Do you have my wallet? Oh my god.
Are you married?
Oh, well,
Was that too private a question?
yes. No. Oh, I don't know.
You don't have to answer.
It's all right, Brent. I was married. I got married as soon as I was 18. You know. My father dragged one of his younger colleagues round to our house every weekend. A real high flyer with money, an expensive car, and a golf club membership. He was called Peter.
We should not be asking any of these questions, dude.
What do you mean, you were married?
After our wedding, Peter soon changed. You know, at the beginning, he was sort of charming, but then he became different. Unpredictable. Hot-tempered, violent.
He hit you?
Yes. It started with a box round the ears, and then it happened all the time.
You put up with that?
For some time, I did. I thought, well, that's what it's like to be married.
How long did that go on for?
About 2 years. Then I divorced him when I found out that he'd been unfaithful to me with some girls from the golf club all the time.
Oof.
That must have been a difficult time for you.
It was hell. I was alone, broke, and I'd had enough of men.
I can imagine that. Have you ever heard from this Peter guy since then?
After the divorce, he behaved like a lunatic for months. He called all the time, or he appeared drunk in front of the house and screamed abuse in the middle of the night. He even waited for me in front of the museum and swore at me. I had to call the police.
Oh, God, what a psychopath. Do you know what he's doing now?
Yes, now and then I read about him in the papers. He's the director of the Anthropological Society now.
Oof.
One of the bigwigs. He seems to have achieved what he always wanted. And as far as I know, he's married again. But I'm not really that interested in his life. The whole thing's over for me now. I'm just glad to be left in peace.
Are you, though, if you're indirectly working for him?
What did your father say to all this?
Of course, my father wasn't delighted with the divorce. He saw how I suffered all the time, but he didn't want to believe it. After all, the whole thing had been his idea. When I told him that I wanted to split up, his first concern was that it might harm his research contacts.
Charming.
What about your mother?
I lost my mother a long time ago. She had cancer and died very early, when I was only 9.
Obligatory fuck cancer.
And did you start studying immediately after getting divorced?
Yes, I started working and financed my studies myself. I wanted to be independent at last, from my father, my husband, from everything that had restricted me before. I studied like mad. I spent the nights in the library.
And you were successful.
I didn't have anything left apart from my career. So I thought, make the best of it. And it worked.
Do you get on well with your father?
After splitting up with Peter, we lost touch for a number of years. My father just couldn't understand why I wouldn't do what he wanted anymore. He couldn't understand how I could deprive him of his allegedly gorgeous son-in-law. He was disappointed in me. And I was disappointed in him. It was only when I got my degree and we became colleagues, so to speak, that our relationship improved again.
Harsh. Your former husband hit you, and now we're hitting you as well. Charming.
Thank you for telling me that, Melanie.
I don't usually talk that much about myself, Brent. But meanwhile, you've become almost like a friend.
Someone who you whacked in the head with a skull. I think that's how all good friendships start, really.
Attention. Danger. Thanks for the hint.
Okay, you can't read. It says caution, not attention. I don't see anything else there, so let's head to the bridges and see if we can get ourselves killed. Come on, you. Right, we can go back the way we came.
Arched bridges. Must be ancient. Arched bridges. Must be ancient.
You would think that maybe there's a non-destructive way of exploring this place, like flying in and rappelling with a helicopter or something. That looks very unsafe. Oh god, do we have an action sequence here? I think we might.
Melanie?
Brent?
It's about that
What is it?
How can we get to the rocky island?
The bridges don't look very
Yes, I can see what you mean. It's probably too much of a risk.
But we can't just...
We will.
I hope...
Okay.
The verses are very strange.
You did translate it. Okay.
The verses are very strange.
I have to read this. The gates of the worlds. Between the bridges worthy lock, the wise man walketh to the clock. The way all through the 12th frame can only once no more be passed. Who does not find the hourglass falls in a stone grave deep and vast, but who shrinks back from the power and taketh paths with paths on the flame. But who shrinks back from the power on the flame and taketh paths with paths will not have the gods to blame and will sink will deeply down the past. English, can you speak it? Can you spake it? Clock, 12 spokes, yeah, okay. Who does not find the hourglass? Are we looking for an hourglass here? Are we pixel hunting? God, I hope not. I didn't see another way to get here. Can I get on the other bridge, maybe? Because I don't see a way that I can go right or left here. I can go that way, but that takes me back to where I came from. I can't go left. Can I get on this bridge? I don't think so.
Arched bridges. Must be ancient.
Yeah, I can't get on that bridge on the right. That's not happening. So, whatever I have to do at this point, it is on this screen.
Melanie?
Brent?
It's about...
What is it?
Can you see what's over there? On the rocky island?
You mean the tower?
No, I mean the thing in front of the tower.
No idea. Looks like scales or scaffolding.
What purpose could that serve?
If we stay here, we'll never know.
Could I...
That depends.
Why did you phone Mr. Blake?
You know why. I wanted to talk to you because of the business with the chief.
But at Mr. Blake's you said that you were worried.
Well, yes. I hadn't heard from you for a while. And after all we'd gone through together, I wasn't indifferent to what happened to you.
That's nice of you. You know, I'm not really used to anybody caring about me apart from myself. And
Oof.
apart from Chief Inspector Miller, of course. But he's only worried whether I'm doing something which could harm his beloved department.
It's all right, Brent. You're a nice man. Strange, but nice.
Just forget about the time that I tried to choke you to death.
What did you think of me when I first came to your museum?
What did I think? Brent, do I really have to tell you?
Of course you don't have to. But I'd like to know.
I'll tell you, but only if you promise not to be angry with me.
Oh, God, is it that bad?
Well, do you promise?
No.
No, I think I don't want to know.
Whatever you say, Brent. Right, let's just consider our situation again.
Do we have to hear it? We have to hear it,
We
don't
will.
we?
I hope
We have to hear it.
Could I?
that.
What did...
Well, do you...
Okay.
I thought this unshaven bloke's wearing a totally unfashionable coat.
What?
True.
That's what you thought?
Yes.
And was that all you thought?
You ask a lot of questions, Brent. I think that's enough for a start. Perhaps we can chat a bit more later. Now we've got other problems as well, don't you think?
Sure. More than enough, I would say. We will find...
I think Brent is considering how to get into her pants at this point. I don't see how to get over there.
That doesn't work. That doesn't work.
No, I don't see anything that I can interact with here, so I might take a quick peek at the walkthrough just for a very small hint. Nothing strikes me as a solution here. Right, taking a look. Oh, I did not... Really? Actually, really? We can do something with the caution sign. This game's throwing a lot of curveballs at me because we had all those locations in the cemetery where you could look at the graves, but they didn't mean anything.
Attention. Danger. Thanks for the hint.
I looked at those, but I didn't click this. Alright, I'm pretty sure that's a crime. If someone hurts themselves because we removed the sign, that's our fault. So I assume we can use those to try and build a bridge over this little gap here.
The boards of the danger sign.
I know it's a adventure game trope not to, you know, not pick up anything that's not nailed down. But this seems like an absolute crime. What are we doing here?
I should think up something else. Not a good idea.
Are we moving over to this bridge, perhaps? I don't see anywhere I can use them, so maybe I need to use them on this screen? No, okay. Can I use them on something here?
I can't do... I don't want... Of course. It won't... I don't believe... Of course. No, that will be... I don't want that. That won't... That's few... There's no... I can't... I thought... I can't... That won't... I thought... No, of course. It can't work like that. I thought it... I should think... I thought it wouldn't work like that. That does... I should... That doesn't work. Looks like it would have... No, better not. Not a good... It won't... That does... Think first. No, it won't work like that. I'd rather... That won't... that one... Looks like... No, it won't... Of course. It can't work like that. The verses are very strange.
I don't interpret any part of this as go back to the first room, commit theft on the sign, and then use the planks to fill in a gap.
I thought it wouldn't work like that.
I don't think I'm pixel hunting here, so there's got to be something that I'm missing. Scrolling down a bit more. Continue forward, clicking the stone bridge path on the left until you reach a broken part. Use boards on the gap on the right. Fuck off, game. We are pixel hunting from here. It's basically a long plank there from there to there. That's where we're pixel hunting. Oh my word. Cool. Now what? Oh my god, really?
Hey, good heavens, that was close.
Oh my god! Are you okay?
Yes, I'm all right.
You've got a nerve, Brent Halligan! How dare you upset me like that? You could have got killed!
It's all right, Melanie. I'm still alive.
Don't you ever do that again, do you hear me?
Hey, all right, all right.
There you go, Halligan. You've blown any chance of a relationship with her. I'll give them props. That is a clever way of traversing this, but this is painful. Also, how is she going to get across? I'm not actually sure how to progress now. Am I crashed?